afternoon, everyone. I have a question for you, and I'm not sure whether you will have the answer or whether you will kind of know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'll ask it anyway. What was your expectation when you first entered the workplace? And I guess it's a bit of a broad question, but I remember going into my first workplace kind of really excited and hopeful and really kind of excited about the possibilities of where I could go and what I could achieve. And I also remember trusting and being very trusting of the people that I worked with, because obviously I was new. I didn't really know what to expect or how to do things. So I put a lot of trust in people, either higher than me or my colleagues. And while this is, I guess, acceptable, it isn't really setting us up for success in our workplaces. And a lot of the time, I know that school doesn't really, didn't. I'm hoping they do something a little bit differently now. But when I was at school, they didn't actually prepare us to enter the workforce. They kind of gave us all of our lessons and all of our tests that we needed to achieve, and we kind of just had to figure out the rest for ourselves. But they tell us that we need to respect each other and be able to trust the people that are in charge. And I did that implicitly. Unfortunately, it was to my detriment, and I didn't get the support that I deserved as a first-time person into a workplace. And from a lot of people that I have been speaking to, they also don't really get a full onboarding experience where you can actually feel confident and comfortable as much as possible, because you are doing something brand new, but you can feel confident and comfortable in entering a workplace and being able to do the job that's expected. And I actually find it doesn't really matter what industry you're in or what industry you start in. The onboarding process and the ability for people to be able to understand how things work and whether they're correct is a little bit blurred. And especially from my perspective, I really didn't know how things worked, and it was in a retail space. And so I kind of went in and I worked as hard as I possibly could, and I did everything that they asked. But unfortunately, the way that I was doing it, because I was working so hard and trying to get more and more tasks done, the expectation on me was quite high, and it was something that I couldn't really maintain. I thought I would be able to kind of set a standard and then kind of coast, but that's not really how my employer or my managers wanted. But because once I couldn't keep improving, then they kind of had this negative, reaction to me trying to say I can't do all of that all in this amount of time. And so it was great to start off with, because I was just improving. And once you hit that proverbial glass ceiling, then sometimes things can kind of start crumbling down, because you can't keep, exceeding their expectations. And this happens in quite a few different industries, but all in different ways. So it's hard for people to kind of get that full understanding across all industries. And I found it really hard to be able to understand the workplace and not have to continue to keep giving more time, more hours. And a lot of the time I actually ended up working for free, because I didn't understand that them saying that they weren't going to pay me was actually, it seems so naive, but they were actually not going to pay me. But I had this mindset from what I'd been told either in school or growing up, that I needed to work hard and pay my dues and actually do whatever it took to, gain respect and gain standing in my workplace. And that's what I did. But it didn't really set me up for success especially in my first workplace, and it actually set me up for the potential and the open for, I guess, bullying to start occurring, because of the way and the mindset and the expectations that were set on me from various different aspects of life, school, family, friends. So I just wanted to put that out there. Maybe you have had a negative experience starting in your first workplace. Maybe you actually had a great experience, and then potentially workplace bullying came up later, which I'm really grateful for that for you, because your first job is not a great place to start with workplace bullying. But also I think it's also a conversation that needs to be had for anyone that is potentially entering the workplace. They need to have that expectation and that understanding kind of explained to them wholly, not partly, and then you'll learn the rest when you get in there, because that's when people can actually get set up to fail, and other people take advantage of that person because they don't know, they're naive, they're new, they have no idea how the process works, and so they can actually be set up to be able to be taken advantage of from the get-go. And if you start with workplace bullying, it's actually really hard to get out of that cycle, and you actually find, from my own experience, that I tend to end up, my confidence got impacted, and it actually almost puts a target on your back to have more workplace bullying situations in your work career. So I just wanted to put that question out to you. If you remember your initial workplace when you first started, put in the comments and let me know if it was positive or negative. Just put positive or negative, and that way I can kind of know, because it would be really great to see if a lot of people are having positive starts to their work career, or maybe they're not set off in the right way to start off with, and maybe that's something that we need to start looking at as a society. But I just thought I'd leave that with you for this afternoon, and have a fantastic afternoon wherever you are. Thanks guys, bye.